Hello and welcome to the Hydration Station. I'm Daniela, the creator and founder of Thirst for Knowledge, a fun way to share learning and development knowledge and resources. On our first episode today, we're diving into the freshest news within the L&D industry, highlighting some innovations, trends and debates that might just change how we train, develop and support teams in 2024 and beyond. So grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's spark some L&D inspiration. Okay, so let's have a bit of a chat about our first segment today. So we're going to be talking about AI-powered personalisation being on the rise within L&D. So these are two terms that you've likely been hearing everywhere, but in L&D they're truly reshaping how we approach training. In the past month, a bunch of platforms are upping their AI game, so they're focusing on hyper-personalised learning experiences. Many learning management systems, or LMSs as we know them for short, are branching into and using sophisticated AI to create tailored learning pathways that can adapt in real time based on learner engagement and success. So I recently attended the World of Learning Expo in Birmingham and found a lot of the stalls and a lot of the expert seminars revolving around AI. Now I know many people within L&D are concerned that AI could take our jobs, which technically could apply to lots of other industries as well. But I think if AI is used in the right way to help tailor the right information for people, rather than being used to simply mass create generic and potentially repetitive content quickly, that this could be used to our advantage. Imagine your learners getting nudged towards content that fills their exact knowledge gaps as they're working, almost like a personal trainer for skills. Think about as well how often people are talking about learning in the flow of work at the moment. This could also work to our advantage, where somebody could log on to an LMS or whatever system you use, and AI tailors for them without us having to put in extra legwork. Now, I'm not saying this would replace us within L&D, and I think having a personal coach or mentor is absolutely key to help guide people through this as well. But I do think we should use this to our advantage. So why is this big? Well, if people are engaged in learning exactly what they need to and when they need it, we're talking about fewer drop-offs, more skills acquired faster, and possibly the holy grail that everybody talks about, which is improved return on investment on our training. What do you think? Let us know. Okay, so on to our next segment, where we're going to be talking about skills over degrees. Alright, so speaking of skills, let's dive into something that's been gaining massive traction. This is skills over degrees movement. Now, this isn't brand new, but companies are really ramping up on offering skill-based certifications rather than prioritising formal education. Just this month, companies like IBM and Google announced expanded partnerships with online learning platforms for a wider range of certifications, focused solely on job skills and capabilities, especially in tech and data analysis fields. Now, these aren't just the typical entry-level skills either. Advanced certifications are being rolled out, and companies are setting up talent pipelines straight from these programs. I can also say firsthand that there are some really interesting certifications for different fields which you may not realise actually cross over directly with L&D. So recently, I have completed a professional certificate for product management with IBM, which had so many skills that will help me within my L&D career without actually moving into product management specifically. Now, I'm not sure if anyone else has the same experience, but in my previous job, I was allowed a bunch of time to self-develop and build on my skills. But when your bread and butter is already learning and development, and coaching is a big part of your role, this can make your own personal development tricky. Now, I'm not saying that I know everything. I absolutely don't. And I don't know everything about every single leadership skill. But if you're in this position, what do you choose for yourself and how do you grow? If you're talking to people about motivation all day, every day, I would hope that you understand the basics and even more and know how to motivate yourself, for example. So due to this is how I ended up branching into looking at product management. It seemed relevant to me at the time and for certain things that I was doing. And then once I looked into it in a little bit more detail, I actually realised there is so much stuff that we do in L&D that technically falls under product management. Now, I think the focus on looking at skills rather than a formal degree or qualification emphasises how vital it is for us to offer our learners robust skills-based training. Traditional degrees are taking a backseat while proof of capability is being fast-tracked. As an L&D leader, I think we should all be thinking about ways that we can incorporate these type of programs or even build internal certifications to get teams upskilled in a targeted, meaningful way. Next up, we're looking at hybrid learning models. Now, we've all seen the hybrid model evolving over the past few years, but here's a new twist. This month, several industry thought leaders, especially in tech, are advocating for an asynchronous-first learning model. This model prioritizes on-demand content and self-paced learning as the primary method, only using synchronous sessions as a follow-up, rather than having people attend in person or online full-day training sessions. Lots of platforms are responding to this shift too. So for instance, the latest updates from Microsoft, Viva Learning and Workday Learning include new features designed for flexible, asynchronous learning. Imagine flipping the classroom approach on its head. Learners can go through modules on their own, digesting content at their own pace, and then regroup for Q&As, discussion boards, or virtual collaboration only when they're ready. Now, this is something that in my previous job I relied very heavily on, by having learners complete training in the flow of work and at their own pace, and then arranging to meet them at a later date to discuss in more detail and answer any questions and give them some more insight. For me, I've seen this work in action, and this is something that I've done for years, and I'm a huge fan of training and developing people in this way. I also think it falls within the 10-20-70 model, so it's very important that we take that into consideration. The data showing that people in hybrid or remote roles actually retain more when they're given the chance to digest content in chunks instead of joining live sessions. So if you're still finding yourself stuck in all-day live training sessions, it might be time to try this async-first style. Let us know what you think. Next up is the rise of virtual coaching programs. Alright, here's an exciting development. Virtual coaching programs are being revamped with a twist. Typically, coaching in the corporate world meant mentorship by experienced leaders, usually in person. Now, there are multiple platforms popping up who are expanding virtual coaching programs with a wider range of options, including AI-guided coaching. These platforms are introducing scenarios where employees can get real-time feedback, interact with a coach on the fly, or even practice skills through things like VR or AR simulations. The buzzword here is scalable coaching. It's exciting because even mid-sized companies with limited budgets can now access top quality coaching for their employees at scale. Early reports are suggesting this format improves both engagement and retention, particularly for younger employees eager for growth. As L&D pros, offering virtual coaching options might just be a key to unlocking potential across all levels of your organisation. Coaching is something that has always been a favourite part of my role within L&D, but I know how challenging this can be in person due to things like travel restrictions and time restrictions. So having the option for L&D professionals to be able to offer this online in various different formats really is a game changer and allows learners to also have easier access and development at a regular pace rather than having to wait for their next time slot with you. Finally, let's wrap up with micro-credentials and learning in the flow of work, a combination that's been buzzing all month. Now, micro-credentials are short, focused courses that teach skills needed for jobs or community needs. They are recognised by many employers and schools and can help you get a job or continue your education or personal development. In simple terms, micro-credentials offer focused, specific knowledge or skills within a subject area, and pairing these with flow of work tools means people are learning while they work, not before or after. Imagine this. Someone working on a new project needs to quickly upskill. With integrations in tools like Slack and Teams, they can grab bite-sized learning modules in real time. Companies are betting on this learning on the go approach to make skill building more relevant and immediate, avoiding the dreaded "I'll get to that training later" scenario. This approach aligns really well with the continuous learning culture that everyone is after. And the good news? Platforms like LinkedIn Learning and Coursera are creating learning in the flow packages to work seamlessly with your existing tech stack. Here at Thirst for Knowledge, we also offer many short-form learning options, including 30-minute video training courses and our bite-sized leadership skills, which can be found on our website or YouTube channel. And that's a wrap for today's Hydration Station. We've covered a lot: AI-powered personalisation, the skills over degrees trend, async-first learning, virtual coaching, and micro-credentials. Each of these trends has massive potential to shake up how we think about and deliver training, so it's an exciting time to be in L&D. If you've enjoyed today's insights, don't forget to subscribe to the Hydration Station for more news, tips, and trends every month. Until next time, keep sparking those new ideas, keep inspiring growth, and keep transforming how we learn and develop at work. Thanks for listening.